Hello everyone, and welcome to Tales from Windy Meadow by Moral Anxiety Studio. This is another game I've gotten through a bundle that just looks pretty interesting. It appears to be like a medieval visual novel of sorts. Choose a chapter. Yeah, and there are three separate characters you can select from who apparently have connected stories and the like. We have Ludicia, a herbalist, aspiring bard, Fable, and Vina, the best huntress in Windy Meadow. I don't know if they want me to play in order here. They probably want me to play in order, but I tend to like to go a little bit out of order. Let's do the bard first. I don't know. Bards sound like very interesting in a visual novel setting. 10 years ago, Little Oak Village. I love the art style of this game too. This is some really clean pixel art. Listen, once we make a hole, we need to run. Run, do you understand? Don't take anything with you. What about Nanny? We can't look for her, honey. There's no time. What can I do to help? Just look out for bandits. Fable, how close did the fire get? Is there a lot of smoke? I don't know. I guess? Stay calm. The priest just killed one of them. Almost done. Yes. Let's get out of here. What have we here? Want to run, huh? Let's see how fast you'll be now. Did they chop off my legs? Wait, kid, are you awake? I'd really, I'm really in need of a guide. Well, shit, at least you're breathing. I won't carry you around, boy. If they catch us, I'll die for nothing. And you'll probably die from a nasty fever anyway. Let's give it a shot. If they get close, I'll drop you in the forest. Teaching me again? Seriously? I was thinking about the day my parents died. I bet they didn't expect their son would start reading one day. Well, I don't know that. You don't know that. Your uncle told me you were always a smart boy. Maybe your parents noticed it as well. If I am, why does... Oh, alright. Why does learning all this take so long? Does it? I never taught anyone how to read. I can only compare it with the time I was a student. And how was it? It took me months, maybe even a year. I was traveling a lot, so I had to take breaks from studying. I'll tell you about it someday. But for now, let's focus on what we have in front of us. I try to write small letters, yet I never have enough space for them. Don't worry about it. Every beginner has this problem. It's hard to plan how big your letters need to be and how to put them in an effective order. Can't I use a bigger wax table? I'm sure Vates and Stabulus had some. It could be easier for you at first, but you would slow down your progress. Try to keep up. I'm trying, but washing off these old letters is really a pain. It takes almost as much time as writing. It's alright, Fable. No need to rush anything. You're doing well enough. No, I'm not. I need to learn, but Vates never has time to practice with me. If you've never been a teacher, why does he send me to you? I need someone who actually knows how to teach. I mean, she seems nice, or nice enough for this, Are you done being a dick already? I don't know, I kind of like her. She seems, strict like a teacher should be, you know? Not mean about it, or not, more mean than she needs to be. I don't know. I didn't want to. I know, it's fine. But I said it's fine. I think we're done for today. I'm a bit tired and you could use some air. I need to take care of my bread beer. Say hello to Vates for me. Is that really what, medieval wheelchairs look like? That's kind of interesting. Huh. I want to open the door, but you hear Nadia quietly say your name, as if she's not sure whether to call you. You called Auntie? So you're his aunt. We know you're trying your best. Everyone has some learning limits. Feeling guilty about it won't help you. Yeah, she seems nice. Hi there, enough studying for now? Yeah, since we started, I got a headache, like every day now. Reading and writing is boring, tiresome, even. I have to focus all the time. I told you it'd be a shade task to take on yourself. But remember how I was going to speak to Lita? You mentioned it, yeah. Like, she's not going to work for me, for long. She plans to learn to learn another trade, though I promised I'd keep the details for myself. Well, that sucks, but how is this related to me? So you should start coming every now and then. Evenings would be the best. You could learn how to run my business. Wait, that's nice, but don't be silly. Can you imagine me bringing a beer to someone? I would spill half it before I could reach the table. How would I clean up such a big place? Are you nuts? You dumbass. How do you want to live as a bard when your imagination is so earthbound? If you can't do some of the physical work, you hire people to help you out. Meanwhile, you need to keep the business spinning, talk to people, decide what to buy or what to make. Give your place a good reputation. Keep the business spinning. What does that even mean? Running. That's what we used to say in the city, but I guess you didn't reach that area. Well, as you said, I want to be a bard. That means I need to spend time reading stories and making some of my own, and writing them down is going to set me above many traveling talkers. And you think you wouldn't hear more than plenty of stories working here? Bards come to taverns to listen about people's lives and sing legends from distant lands. For a storyteller, there's no better place to be. You meet interesting folks and listening to their problems. You hear news, jokes, and rumors from the entire province. If you really want to gather tales and stories, come work for me. How many branching pathways are in this game? This feels like something with like a very wide kind of game with that sort of thing. I'm checking out the page right now. Choice-shaped endings significantly shift the game's atmosphere. While even small decisions influence dialogue, events and how your protagonists are perceived by other characters. Okay. So these choices do mean something. This feels neutral enough for now. I'm afraid that working for you is going to make me miss my only chance. What if I never become a bard? And what if we're all going to die tomorrow? I was able to move to this village because I made a lot of savings back home. But most people don't have this sort of luck. Many of us never fix our lives. That's how it is. But as my partner, you could also learn something handy. And with some savings, you'll be able to start learning later on. Sure, something may happen, but isn't this the best chance you have? Just don't take too long thinking. I need to hire someone very soon, maybe even right after Ivolo's wedding. The faster you decide, the better. Are you going somewhere? I have to start cleaning the tavern soon. So did you ask Nalia if you could hold her sword? No, and I'm not going to. She plays with it quite often. Plays? You know, grabs it and mangles it around, waggles it around. She does that without even noticing. Why do you keep asking about it? Why? Don't you know what that sword is? Since the entire blade is black, I bet it's something magical. When I asked my aunt about it, she said it's just a sword. Just a sword, my ass. It's the Oathkeeper, a weapon that made 3 generations ago. Did people actually name their weapons? I thought it's something they only do in Legends. People give names to their genitals. Variety! Vanity is an amazing thing. So what's so special about the sword? It was made out of cold iron, an ore that was believed to need almost lethal frost to be forged. Only right before the War of the Southern Tribes, some alchemists discovered that insanely high temperatures can melt it as well. Some cities, like Buriatus, have huge ironworks which can produce that much heat, but it takes a tremendous amount of fuel. That's where the Oathkeeper was made, a weapon that never breaks, never gets blunt, never loses its balance, and is no heavier than a usual sword. One of the paintings I have in the common room was meant to portray a sword made of cold iron, but I don't think that's that accurate. So why would Nalia have this weapon? Does she get did she get it when she was a mercenary? You want to read some books when you have stories just waiting for you at your fingertips. So tell me, Stabby. Another time, I had to visit Arata before the evening and talk with her about that one sheep I wanted to buy, so it's time for me to take care of the cleaning chores. See you soon, Runt. Yeah, have a nice day, Fatso. I'm back. And I was just leaving. Want to have one of my sandwiches? Thanks, I could eat an elk. And that's like the worst feeling to have while cooking. I use one last fish. I'll bring you one in the evening. That's fine. How was your day? Slow. I'll tell you if anything important happens. Mm-hmm. Apart from the basic chores, I need you to gather our clothes and check them for bugs. A good moment to fold and organize them in the closet. Sure, I can do that. Are you going to the cemetery now? Not today. I need to visit some people. Victus keeps overdrinking, so Ivolo asked me to talk with him again. I'll be back in a couple hours. Good luck. And I almost forgot. Patsis was asking if you're free the day after tomorrow. His family could use help with candle making. Sure, Aunt Nalia is going to be busy that day, so we won't have our lessons. I could use a part-time job. I don't think they have any coins, though. It's probably going to be more like a credit for food and stuff at the inn. Is that fine with you? I don't mind. Maybe tells Patsis I'm interested. Have fun with cooking. So you're still awake. Good, we need to talk. Do you need me to stop? I'm not done yet. Please do. Let's go to the backyard. I want you to be focused. Did something happen? I went to see Nalia. She's worried about you. She told me about your doubts. And apparently you're mad at me. You mentioned I should be the one teaching you how to read. I'm not mad at you. At least I'm not mad, at least not at you. I just want to be done with all this learning. I want to create stories, not sit in a small dark room. Most of the stories are made in dark rooms, Fable. You may be inspired by many things, but after all, you must sit down and make hard work putting everything together. Nalia told me the same thing. You can trust her, you know. It's time that she was It's true that she was a mercenary, but she knows a lot about things and you want to learn. Definitely more than I do, even more than old Salvia does. Is that why you sent me to her? She doesn't really talk to me about storytelling. She's completely focused on writing. We were talking about it today. She and I. Soon you'll expand your lessons, but I bet you're going to like them a lot. And yes, it's one of the reasons why I sent you to her. So there is more. Not including I spend too much time traveling to other villages talking with people about God and life. Nalia and I may not spend much time together, but she's a part of our family, and I'm worried about her. It's unhealthy for a person her age to completely shut themselves in a house. She avoids everyone, not just me. Isn't it nice that you can learn from her and keep her company at the same time? I want to say just like yes, not like a sarcastic I guess. And couldn't you be honest with me from the beginning? What's the point of all these secrets? Well, we'll talk about that another day. It's something difficult to predict how you're going to act. It's sometimes difficult to predict how you're going to act. Just be sure to keep this conversation between us. We don't need Nalia to be even crankier than she is. Right, I'll go to bed soon. The sky looks lovely from here. Are you feeling better today? I'm not feeling worse. That's a spirit. See, you fit in our family just fine. I would offer you some gin, but we need our eyes clear if we want to read for hours. Stabulus told me books are usually written by the monks from the Church of Truth. Don't they drink ale and wine all year? How are they writing if they are constantly drunk? I never visited a monastery, so I can't be sure, but books are expensive, Fable. Like, really expensive. Not the ones I have, of course, but you should think about books as a precious gem, or chitin armors. I'm pretty sure a monk wouldn't be careless enough to risk spilling wine on a book worth more than a horse, and which was made for 10 months, or even more. Stobulus is not an idiot, but don't listen to every piece of gossip he throws at you. Now for our lesson. Which tablet should I use first? I cleared them all this morning. Don't worry about it for now, we're going to do something special today. Like reading? Indeed, but reading something different. I assume it will successfully grab your attention. Your task is pretty basic. Choose a story you think is interesting and read it out loud. After that, you're going to tell me what it was about, and after that, we're going to talk about it. Are these books like fairy tales? More like the selection of my favorite stories. Your father wanted me to share it with you. I gathered these tales from various books, journals, and bards. You mean Vates, right? Right, I'm sorry, I just slipped of the tongue. So what can I choose from? I already marked 3 of them, which I think would be great to begin with. The first one is an old fairy tale, The Ever-Written City, as people call it. It's about a king from a faraway land, or rather about his disloyal architects and subjects. I bought these parchments from an old bard when I was still a young mercenary. Follow the bookmark to find the secret text. It's probably also just a story, but it may hold a seed of truth as well. It's a journey written by a traveling monk. He was fascinated by the southern tribes and claimed that he met a small nation that used to believe that everyone was dying at every dusk, and everyone was being reborn at every sunrise. It's part of a larger book, but I think only this passage was interesting. Years ago, my daughter bound this torn-away chapter for my birthday. Not only a nice gift, but it actually protected these papers from destruction. It may be the only copy in existence. The last one is something of a legend. I'm not sure how to describe it. It's about this rich man who lives alone in the forest. One day a mysterious creature came by and tried to befriend him. I won't spoil the rest. I wrote down this tale myself after hearing it in an old faraway inn. I was planning to copy it on parchment, but I kept denying it. So which one would you like to pick? I want to know what this one is. The only copy, you say? It would be silly to not look into the journal. Also, I noticed the black sword over here too. That's a little different from what I was expecting it to look like, but that's kind of cool. I want to save. Is this made with Ren'Py? It kind of looks like it with the UI. But I don't really know anything about Ren'Py, to be perfectly honest. That's a chat log. Huh. Oh, interesting. It's all yours. Whenever the full moon rose upon the village of flowers, I asked the shaman to let me live with the tribe and learn its ways. And every time, no matter the answer, she greeted me with these words: "Welcome, stranger." Now she's holding the sword. Tell me what we remember from the story. It made me interested in the background of this monk. He seems to be a smart fellow. We would be disappointed. At first, many scholars praised this journal, but when the authorities from the Church of Truth were meant to decide if it's worth being copied in their monasteries, it failed miserably. Apparently, yeah, and there she is, like, twirling it too. The major part of it was proven to be either wrong or deceitful. The author was forced to stay in a monastery cell for many years and pray for wisdom and forgiveness. How do you know all this? Oh my god, I was pretty dumb when I was young, but the older I got, the more interested in books I started to be. This monk's cover was set in Baratus, and I spent most of my life there. I see. Back to the text. So according to what is written here, the Flower Tribe believe that whenever you fall asleep, you die, and whenever you wake up, you are reincarnated, I guess. The monk struggled to describe it. Yeah, he's rather vague, but how did his tribe come up with this belief? The shaman tried to explain this by describing some of the past events. She started with the forgotten memories of the past, but mostly focusing on times when people completely changed their personality with the passage of time. She said it's impossible to understand how our past could ever be reality. Even a single day can give birth to a new world. And I too young to understand this. Or is this just silly? Good storytelling can't write tales only for people who share the experiences. Let's call it an empathy lesson. Hold on. I need a drink of water. I haven't played a visual novel in a while. According to this journal, people from the nation were treating this topic with full seriousness and it affected their everyday life. They treat each other as strangers every day. They considered old offensives irrelevant. Words as love or friendship are believed to be pointless and vain. Grudge, a soul's flaw. They seized the day, but often in a quite short-sighted way, without thinking about the consequences. Even though they were using a language that the monks was partially familiar with, they used a lot of strange phrases. My favorite one was how they greeted even their family with "let's die together." And what about the actual death? How did they compare these everyday deaths to passing away? From what I understand, it was like a taboo. They never cried after the deceased and just dropped the bodies in a valley of wolves to devour them. Jackals. I don't know what this is. I'll ask someone to draw it for you later. So I'm guessing it's everything. Fine, and what do you think it was actually about? It's a biography, right? So it'd be his lifestyle, so not really about aliens. I'm gonna pick that one, though. The monk describes this weird culture as something from... Oh, wait, no, I misread it. Okay, right. As something from a completely different world. It all feels more like a religion without specific gods and not just a bunch of alien customs. But if even a minor difference in perspective can completely change how a whole tribe acts and sees in life. Yeah, can you imagine if this tribe lived within the Empire, no one would be able to keep up with their lifestyle. They're like creatures from another world. I wonder if they can even trade with others. I bet it would be problematic to say, for example, can I pay you tomorrow? Do they even have money lenders if they think people will die every sun? I say the same thing when I heard about them for the first time. The rest of this book was all about the religions of the South. The author tried to find a common ground to tell the strangers about his faith, but this one nation was so weird to him. He couldn't comprehend their world at all. So he gave up and focused on telling us what he thought was going on. That's why I think it's the best chapter of them all. So, what do you think about this tale? Did you like it? It's an interesting perspective, I guess. It was innovative. I'll think about it some more, and that was a great read. I'm glad. It's quite a weird book, I admit, but there really are some things to take from it. For me, it's a good description of what I struggled with during my journeys. Many things that we think are normal can be seen as weird by people from other parts of the world. If you'd ever have a chance to speak with people from other nations, you'd see that, and you'd see that we are indeed exotic. So we'll see each other in 2 days, am I right? Yes, I'm looking forward to it. You may ask Vates to give you something to practice on your own. I won't really have time for it. I'm going to help Castus and Meadow with candles. Oh, you're making new candles. Tell them I'm going to need some for sure. Autumn is nearby. We'll need an artificial light for our lessons. I see. Thank you. You know, one thing I like about this game a lot is, like... Okay, a lot of the pixel art is very static. But it's static to a point at which whenever there are, like, bursts of animation, like when he, like, rolls off in his little, like, wooden wheelchair, it sticks in your mind a little. Like, it's more noticeable when, like, small things change. Like, the aunt twirling the sword as well. I feel like in any other game I wouldn't notice that, but given that how, like, static the animation is, it just kind of stuck out to me very quickly. You know where you are. Your legs are here. You're dreaming again. Oh no, I'm dead. In your dreams, you always have legs. What a great night to run. To jump. To fall. To stand up once again. Yet you already know what's going to happen. It has to happen. You feel the weight of waiting. More onwards is... Moving onwards is more and more difficult. You reach them again. They're waiting for you. They want you to do something, but what? You don't know. The crowd leaves you behind and you're alone again. Not only that, you realize that you don't have legs. You shouldn't even be here. But then again, if that's the truth, how'd you get here in the first place? Fable. That's convenient. I was just heading to your home. Hello, boy. Going for groceries? I don't think we've heard of you yet. Morning, ma'am and sir. Just for a bag of groats and some river bleaks. I'm glad to see you're not afraid to go outside. Some young people started panicking, but the life must go on. I don't think I quite follow. Haven't you heard? A pack of goblins migrated to our forest. If you still lack a good story material after a battle with the trolls, you'll have another chance to find some inspiration. But are they going to attack us? Don't worry, we'll be ready. Latro is hoping we can flush them out before they settle in for good. Well, I'm busy. I wish you both good luck. Find me after dusk in Tasty Claw, Ivolo. We need to discuss some things. I'll be here. Have a nice day. So I want to ask a favor. I'm listening. You're coming to the wedding, right? I'm even helping with the preparations in the morning, remember? Just wanted to be sure. Let's jump right to it. We aren't going to have much entertainment, I'm afraid. Musicians we were counting on refused the invitation. I'm not that good with music, but I can play some tunes on my flute, but they're not really suitable for dancing. Yes, Vates told me that already, but he also told me you were a pretty decent storyteller. He did? So I wanted to ask if you could entertain our guests for some time. It's still over a week till the ceremony, so you'll have some time to prepare yourself. He believes in me. I don't know, man. I'll do it, yeah. It'll be an honor. I'll do my best. That's a huge relief. Thank you, Fable. I owe you one. It's a big chance. Some of my friends have access to many ears in the city, so making a good impression could open some doors for you. Oh, he's gonna pay me an exposure. And making a bad impression won't matter, since they don't expect anything good coming from any village anywhere. Aside from food, maybe. Just relax and do your best. It would be less stressful if you didn't tell me all that. Trust me, the sooner you know, the better. You don't want to find out about this right before the performance. You're probably right. So I won't stop you anymore. Tells Stabulus to put your bill into my account. Feel free to buy yourself a couple of fruits as well. Thank you, but I'm not sure if Vates would want me to accept that. Nonsense, just don't buy any mead. Thank you, sir. I should hurry now. In a couple hours, we're starting to make candles. Goodbye. Good luck, and don't let the hot fat touch your skin. So punctual. Let him in. Hello. Afternoon. Am I late? Hello, Fable. We started early, but you're just in time. Make yourself comfortable. Nalia said she would like to purchase some of your candles. Bates was asking if you're making some yellow ones for him as well. I am. You'll handle the tallow ones. I already started with the beeswax. With some nice cotton wicks. I expected Vates would want some of those. The stink of the fat candles would be terrible for the wedding. For the birthday party as well. Right, Fable, you can start whenever you're ready. So how are the book lessons going? Pretty good. I think I've learned a lot, but I still have a lot to work on. Nalia told me you're doing a great job. I'm not one to judge, though. I don't know a thing about books. Did you know Castus can write his name? I remember it. You told me about it a few months ago. Oh, right. Was I not supposed to say that? How is your farm? Everything under control? It's slow. Nothing to brag about. Puddin's helped us almost every day. He's so brave. Field crops smell nice. No, they don't. Maybe you'll manage to sell some grain in the city this year. Wouldn't be nice to save some dragons, maybe buy a new horse. It never gets too boring, you know. Living on a farm, I mean. Sure, every year you have sowing time, every year you have harvest. Some days feel the same, but there is always so many things to do, especially if you have children. People don't realize how good the farming life can get, I guess. So Fable, you want to be a bard, right? That's a plan, you know. I always love stories, and I love telling them and making them. It's a lot of fun. Would that be like your job? Sure, people pay bards for entertainment, although it requires a lot of traveling. Aren't you afraid of monsters? You wouldn't go alone, hun. Bards join mercenaries, merchants, and other groups. I'm sure Fable can handle himself. Let's just hope I won't have to run around. So maybe you can tell us something interesting. Oh, would you like a story? Sure, that would be fun. Yeah, candles are boring. It would be my pleasure. Let me think. Castle life. Oh. Oh, it's Rainsdown's players, I guess. The sun was covering the realm, even in the darkest of days. What forces you here to start an adventure? The hooded characters seem to come out of nowhere. What stands between the danger that hero tries to stop? It's a story of regicide. People told many stories about his greed and guile. What should the turning point? What sort of turning point would you like to describe? We're just making candles. We can have a straightforward story. It seems impossible, but no one was ever brave enough to try. Preview of the next story. Leave them on a cliffhanger. They live happily ever after. You have nothing to add. You take a deep breath and turn towards the audience. Nice. Well done. Pretty interesting. Also, does he have, like, acne, or is this, like... That's called leprosy, right? I don't know much about, like, diseases, you know? Like... Also, I've kind of noticed this, too. I love the pixel art in this game, but, like, one small criticism I do have is that, like, the proportions feel a bit off for, like, the bust. Like, portraits. Like, look at this, for example. Like, his head is wider, and, like, it appears to be more zoomed in, compared to him who's a little more zoomed out, which makes him look bigger, but I think he's, like, their child, so it doesn't really make sense. I don't know. I've noticed this with a few of these portraits. They kind of look like they come from different sources occasionally. I love the pixel art, but, like, some of it just doesn't match that well when they, like, come down here, it feels. Thank you. Did you come up with it all by yourself? Partially. I was inspired by some stories I've heard before, but parts of it are completely my own. That's nice. So we're almost finished here. Looks like we're short on flax toes. How the heck did that happen? No clue. Let's use some of the cotton to make the final set of wicks. Come, Puddins, I'll show you how. What? I said wake up, hurry, and get dressed. I'm going upstairs for just a moment. Wait here for me. Yes. Where do all these lights come from? Fire? If you... Oh. I wasn't outside yet, but something is burning. But there are no buildings nearby. Even more alarming. Get dressed, prepare to leave. This is probably a big choice. I'm thinking, like, okay, he's kind of old and he's disabled, so I fear like if we were to go try to help people, we might get very hurt ourselves. I mean, like, the moral thing to do is to try and help them, but, like, I'm not sure how viable it would be. I'm gonna pick this one. It feels like the more uncommon option anyway. We need to run away. Snap out of it. I'm not leaving anyone behind. You should know about it, especially you. If we find no one and no other way, we'll return here and take our stuff. I prepared us for the journey. Our villages have to know about the danger. Now follow me. Isn't that one of the other characters? You're right on time. What's the situation? Our forest is on fire. The one behind the river. Goblins are going to lose their minds. Yeah, I figured. Are Salvia and Lucidia here? Is Arata's family safe? My dad will protect them. Now we have to discuss how to protect the village. I forgot who the third character was, actually. He's probably here, too. What about Nalia? Has anyone seen her? Huh? But she lives south of here. She'll be fine. Fable, go check on her. If she's home, bring her to the inn, just in case. Why would she refuse? Are you sure you don't need me here? What if the fire spreads to the buildings? With your legs, we'll be lucky to not run over you. You must trust me, son. Go. Auntie, are you in there? Nalia. I'm going in. If it's even open. Thank God. Oh! Wait, the sword is gone. Is that plum liquor? Nalia, wake up. We have to run. Come again? Oh, it's you. Are we going? Yes, we need to get to the inn. Come, Auntie. Are we going to die? Of course not. Get your act together. Vates is waiting for you. That's too bad. Didn't you take the cleaning tools with you? I was supposed to bring them. We're not here today to work. I want to have a conversation with you. I see. I'm glad that lately we can talk a bit more. Too bad we don't have time anymore to to take our walks. I don't know if I want to talk right now. We had a tough night. Yeah, we should be thankful that only one person died in the fire. That's fantastic. Can we just tidy the graves and walk away? Start listening. We're not here to work. I want to show you something. On a cemetery? There's a lot of wisdom to be found among these graves. Sounds cool, doesn't it? People love this stuff, even if it has almost no meaning. Or it has multiple meanings, and you can always choose the ones you find suitable. Exactly, very convenient for a bard. My storytelling lessons were supposed to start in a few hours. Everything is a story. This also doesn't mean anything. True, but the fire from yesterday made me think about this. About stories left behind. If something is going to happen to me, there's nobody here to take care of the funerals. Lacerda would have to hire a priest from the city, from a common church. Tell me, do you like Windy Meadow? I do. I'm grateful I can call this place my home. If I ever leave, I'll miss it a lot. If you're going to become a traveler, the roads will be your new home. But I'm sure people from here are always going to greet you with open arms. We're lucky that we can spend 10 years without major disasters, until yesterday, that is, and the trolls before that and the gargoyles 2 years ago. I don't want to keep you here. If you decide to begin a journey, you are free to do so, but if you stay here, I want you to learn how to bury people's ashes. You just open an urn? Are you afraid of ghosts? You need to know what's inside, and it's not really an urn. It's originally called an amphora, but the real amphoras are much larger and have a weird shape. Nobody in the countryside uses them. Is this a real thing? Hold on. Oh, those things! I didn't know that they had, like, a special name. Huh. I learn something new every day. This also contains some ashes. Not at all, and unlike the urns, we can actually open it without breaking the taboo. A parchment. Read it. First in silence. I know it takes a good moment to figure out the letters. I made a big progress, you know. Dude, even stuff like that, like just a different sprite from looking down. Like the animation is so contained that stuff like that sticks out to you. Like I really like the style of this game. I love 3 things in life: flowers, moon, and flowers. Is this a poem? I know nothing about poetry. Can you explain? Sure, you don't know much about the various types of churches in the Empire, but you know their traditions specifically differ from ours, right? Since Windy Meadow follows the teachings of the free churches, we tend to keep our religion practices quite humble and modest in comparison to the cities. I remember the cemetery they have in the city. They have all this gold and statues there. They had to hire guards to protect the graves from robbers. Yes, the common churches doesn't have much in common with us, no pun intended. A wink. Anyway, free churches usually encourage their followers to add a message to their urns. Most people can't read, obviously, but they ask their priests for a friendly help. And if they die without leaving a message, that's another problem. Sometimes someone makes a message in the name of the deceased, but more often they ask a priest to write something appropriate. And it's not easy, since they would, like you to sum up one's life in one piece of parchment. And you can do that. Nobody can. Some people have simple lives or are fairly dumb, but nobody can be described in a single sentence, a single poem, or an item. Are you proposing that I give up my dreams to be a bard and do this instead? I'd be up for it, you know? Like, some people like to think the opposite. Some like to leave a story behind them. Even if it's cryptic and short, it leaves a mark. For some people, this mark is very valuable. Even if I don't find it wise, at least it's a beautiful tradition. And you want me to help with these parchment pieces. We call such a parchment a viaticum, the last meal for the road, and yes, but only if you stay in the village, and after I'm gone, it's not a bond, it's a request. I'll do it. If I stay in the village, I'll take care of the cemetery. You can count on me. I know I can. Thank you. I'm going to stay here for a while, but if you can go home, get ready for today's lessons, and bring your aunt some fruits. I bet she can use something sweet today. I will. See you later. Vates. About Nalia, is it true that she's drinking every night? Oh, she's still alive! Oh, that's fantastic. What if the monsters come and she won't even leave her house? Now is not the time to talk about it, and you'll be smart to avoid this topic in front of her. I brought some apples in my backpack. Go ahead if you want to eat one. I'm not hungry. I don't even know how much time we have together. Let's start our lesson. I want to be honest, like, Fable, yes, I like you, okay? But I'm not going to talk with you about it. I don't need anyone to hear me out, and if I would, I wouldn't choose a teenager filled with dreams and plans. You know what? Yeah. Fine, as you wish. Thank you. You may be young, but you're my friend, and I want to believe we can respect each other. Now back to the lesson. I could use a break from the outside world. So many things are happening. It tires me. Do you know what happens when the forest is set on fire? I do. Animals unite. They attack people. Sometimes they destroy villages. Are you scared? I don't want to die, but I don't want my friends to die either, and I don't like sitting in constant fear. You can trust these people. Bates can organize the village. Guards know how to defend the palisade. Latro and Vina are specialists when it comes to wilderness, and I am absolutely confident Lacerda has what it takes to control the situation. If the monsters are coming for us, we have a good chance they won't even enter our streets. What if a unicorn charges in the palisade? What if a dragon flies in here? Well, we'll hide in a stronghold or some basement. Most monsters in this province don't know how to dig. I think we can survive, even though we may be forced to run away in this, the city right after the attack. Wait, where's their sword? Oh, I gave it away to someone who's going to need it more than I do, or so I thought. Okay, so that's why it was missing. Let's not dig any more into things we can't change. Life goes on. A few days ago, we read a story. Feels like a week, doesn't it? It really does. Anyway, I want to return to it. I want to make it better. Excuse me? In the future, you're going to use some of your favorite parts of other stories. You'll turn them into something completely new. A bard can't just listen and read. So you have to make the story your own. Turn it into a new one. Sure. I think I understand. You can't just retell other stories. You need to be creative and transform them. And this is what we're going to practice from now on. You don't need more writing lessons. Practice it and you'll be fine. Shall we begin? Sure. The good old journey. Which part of it would you like to try in the future? Yeah, I like this reborn everyday part. It could lead to something pretty interesting. Yep, just keep the parts that interest you the most. Once you enter an inn and start your performance, nobody's going to care if you are faithful to the source material. Just tell people what they want to hear. What seems to be the problem? I don't know what people want to hear. Remember how I went to make your candles yesterday? I'm not scatterbrained, boy. I tried to tell one of my stories, but nobody cared. Well, people liked it. They weren't moved. They didn't say anything. I bet they already forgot about it. They don't understand. You think I sound like a child? You do. You are a child! But it doesn't mean you're wrong. You're a dreamer that now confronts reality. Can you say something more? Well, I heard some of your stories. They are decent, better than most people can think of. But a good story is not everything people look for when they hire a bard. They want a good performance. Yes, Fable. An amazing storyteller can change someone's life and get a loaf of bread. A good dancer of a lute can sing some rhyming bullshit about cute... It's not a word I expected from you. Cute girls from a drunken crowd and leave a purse of dragon coins. So what's the point of learning all this if nobody's going to listen to what I have to say? Some people will. Every tale tries to reach this one pair of ears it was made for. Just, your current path is not enough if you want to live for entertainment. So what should I do? You can learn how to use gestures to your advantage, how to use your voice to keep an audience interested, how to select the right tone. Books deserve a skilled recanter. Does anyone else even use this word anymore? It's not a choice between an important message and a fun time. If you want to care, you have to make them care. Don't expect act. You can't give someone an apple and tell them to make a pie out of it. What would you do in my position? It doesn't matter. I'm not you, and I never strove to be an artist. Maybe you're right. The southern tribes also have bards, you know. Some of them learn for many years. They memorize huge poems, practice various types of music or accents in circuses. Some of them are considered to be priests. Bates told me that even in our towns, bards are often jugglers and magicians. It takes a lot of pride to believe you can survive by sharing your stories, and it takes a lot of determination to find an opportunity to make it happen. I don't know what to do anymore. I only know what I want. Can we just practice writing for now? Of course, dear. I could drink a cup of bread beer. Do you want some? You've probably heard, Ray, that I used to be called the Gargoyle Slayer. How about I tell you a real story? Nice. Okay. On the game page, it says this game is about 2.5 hours. If there's 3 stories, the first one took me 50 minutes, and it looks like there's a fourth locked one once I complete it all, I'm assuming. I'm not quite sure how that like adds up exactly. Because I'd expect the first one to be the longest, right? Let's do I don't know why, but, like, I want to do hers last, because, like... No. Okay, his was, like, mostly just, like, passive, you know? I'm assuming this one to have some action. This one will probably be a lot passive, too, and then the final chapter typically has some action. Let's do an action chapter. I'm not sure if that's a good order to do these in, but it feels like something that could be fun to try. Also, I gotta save too. I'm not actually playing this today. I realized you couldn't save in that menu, so yeah. Okay. Well, I'll see you folks later. Thanks for watching.